Hey everyone, welcome to another thrilling episode of Survivor, where we're taking my friend Alec on a journey through the
Big journey.
show chronologically from the beginning. We're up to season 10, Survivor Palau, episode 7 now. Last time James was voted out when Oolong lost their 6th consecutive individual immunity. Just immunity challenge.
Yeah, that's right, because they also lost. Well, they had lost an immunity challenge. That is how they lost the other person. But it wouldn't have mattered anyway. So they would have just lost somebody.
Yeah.
But they did lose. They did lose all the same.
6 in a row. Here we are. But the last episode was probably the best of the season, so maybe an upward trajectory here. We'll see.
We can only hope. We can only hope.
Right, so we had James voted out. We had Tom consoling Janu. Nice wholesome moment. We had Bobby John thinking that James was the one voting, the one that voted for him last time, and it was actually Steph. And they got a close little connection now, but decided to hold on to Ibrahim.
Steph was like, no, it was I didn't vote for you. It was all him.
Even though we thought it would be a slam dunk for Ibrahim to go next because he was supposed to go last time, it ended up being James.
James' failure to launch here. Yeah.
But if they go to tribal council again, it's got to be Ibrahim, right?
Yeah, I mean, you'd think so, right? It's got to be.
But maybe they'll do something. Maybe they'll do something spicy. Who knows? Down to 3 people in that tribe, so Oolong has struggled all season long. But they consistently vote people out on based on challenge strength. I don't think that was necessarily the motivation for voting James out, but it just happened to be a bad performance from him in that episode. But I think Bobby John was ultimately like, I can't trust James because they're voting for me.
Right. That seems like that was part of it. And on Ibrahim, I think it had to do with, he said it was about challenges and stuff. So maybe it wasn't his side.
They just didn't get along.
They didn't get along. So last episode was also the Pringles episode too. So we had some Prangles.
Starts with the P, ends with O.
Angle.
Just
yeah.
O.
What was? Just ends with O. Yeah, that was so weird. It was like, what?
It starts with a P, ends with O. She was like expecting people to get excited about that.
I
don't know what that is.
Yeah, what?
I don't know what that could possibly be.
It could be pull. It could be puddle. It could be a puddle. It could be puddle. It could be like it could be so many different things.
I love that you got no reaction from it. That was Katie too. Katie's getting on people's nerves.
Yeah. People are not cool with Katie right now. Yeah, but she did a sock puppet theater.
That's true. We didn't mention that.
Yeah, we didn't, but we did now. So
really
there it is.
Great work from them.
Yeah. Well, we have to see what's going on moving forward. It's going to be an interesting next few episodes for sure. Can Oolong come back from the dead? Basically,
we got 8 people on Karor, 3 people on Oolong. That's pretty rough.
Close to merge, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right. So as always, you can click the link in the description to see the highlights of our reaction, and then come back afterwards for the discussion. Okay.
Please do.
There you have it, episode 7 of Survivor Palau, and Ibrahim is voted out.
Yeah, wow, this is really sad. This is really sad right here. It's very sad.
But they still believe in themselves as a tribe at the end of the day.
That's according to Jeff. They do, but I don't think
spirit.
Do they? Do they really?
Yeah, I mean, how can you believe in anything at that point?
How do you believe in anything?
So this is an interesting vote. I mean, you don't often get this dynamic where it's down to 3.
No,
this is almost like the final 3 dynamic. When
it's kind of weird.
Deciding like who to take to the end with you, but it said this is just a little tribe.
Who to take and emerge with you, maybe.
I think it was interesting. It's interesting though. It was nice because there was actually some back and forth. It wasn't clear cut, and Ibrahim himself did not expect it, so it was actually like
Bobby John
kept it.
He kept it kind of vague to both of them. It seemed like he was just gonna. It's like he was saying to Stephanie was like, well, I don't know. Can't promise anything anymore. And it was like, okay, well, you've been promising it to her for a while. And now it's like, he's getting all wishy-washy. So it made her second guess herself. So she then like talked about it with Ibrahim and was like, we shouldn't let him just decide then for us. And then he was like, I don't know what I'll vote for. I don't know.
But they really left it in Bobby John's hands in the end. So if Ibrahim had given her more of an assurance, maybe she would have gone with it. Because it seemed like even down to the end, Stephanie wasn't sure whether she was going to stay or Ibrahim wasn't, or thought he was going to stay.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the problem, is he thought that Bobby John would stick with him, so he didn't care to do that. But Stephanie saw that it was just him making the decision, so
yep.
His only chance would have been to jump on with Stephanie there. But yeah, Bobby John and Stephanie, the last two members of Oolong. I mean, they really have been at the center of everything, I feel like, throughout that tribe.
Yeah.
It's
because, yeah, for sure. Because Stephanie's always like, I'm pissed. We're losing. I'm upset. I'm angry. I don't know. I don't like to lose. And it's like you just keep repeatingly lose.
And they've never been on the chopping block because they were always the top performers of the challenges.
The performers and the providers, yeah. So they always worked hard. That's it. There you go. You got the working hard too.
The hard working too. Not too smart though. Not too smart. They work harder, not smarter, as evidenced in that immunity challenge, the slide puzzle in the water.
Well, it was even in the SOS challenge too. It kind of was because they just built their shelter a little too close to the
and they just did too long because they can't think too well. Couldn't think of anything else to put down.
They couldn't have had like a maybe like an arrow or something pointing to it. Like kind of like
bless their hearts, the dumbasses, not try.
Bless them.
They just try their hardest. They do. But we also had the shark.
The shark incident?
Shark catch from Tom. The controversial shark incident.
The controversial shark incident. So Ian got a big clam. It was huge. It was a big clam. So, and then they feasted on a clam. Then they left the bits sort of by the ocean. Kind of, it worked as bait because it started attracting the sharks. So then Tom got a shark. Tom caught a shark. He sliced it open and boom, he got a shark. So they feasted on
for
shark
that
steaks.
Provider role.
Yeah.
Which like
Ian and Tom,
the provider role, varying degrees of success in Survivor. Most often it does not end well. I would say. I mean, Rupert is the biggest case of like
it not going.
You can be a provider all you want, but it's like no one's gonna take the provider to the end.
Right.
Generally, like Richard Hatch was an exception, but he was also the first to do it. So
he was the first to do it, and it was the beginning of the experiment in a way, right? So like now people know, the provider is jockeying for position, where they can just let all the other tribe members duke it out while they actually control everything from the side. So
yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot more. There's like a whole segment about Jennifer and Greg. It was weird because it was like just before they were like, they're smooching again. They're gonna move off and go get water together. Ooh, stuff like that. And then it like cuts to them and they're like, well, the relationship. What do you think about that? Everyone's talking about it. So like, is that okay? Is it okay that if it plays into the game or not? And then she's just like, I don't like you being standoffish.
She said, I think it's a non-issue.
Yeah, it's non-issue. I just wish. Yeah, it's a non-issue. I just wish you weren't standoffish. In other words, it was like, I don't really care about the game. I just want you. And it was like,
I just want you.
It was like, you're playing a game. Like, I'm sorry, but like, you can't just.
I feel like that was the first confessional we've seen from Jen. I don't remember another confessional.
I don't remember ever hearing from her. Like even before, it was like Jen is Greg's accessory. It was kind of like.
And even in this confessional, it's just about, oh man, I wish she wasn't so standoffish.
I know. I just want a man. I just want to smooch on the beach.
Oh God.
I just want a man. That's all I need. That's all I need in my life. So, yeah, it was kind of. So
Greg, that a couple episodes ago when he was like, I think they think we're just off here having fun, but I think me and Jen are thinking a hell of a lot harder. Her playing a hell of a lot smarter than some of these people. And we were like, well, we'll take your word for it on Jen because we haven't heard from her. I still don't get that vibe.
I still get the vibe that he's the one that's actually thinking about the game, because like
not so much.
she seemed like she just doesn't really care about it at all. Actually, in fact,
and then he's
because she's like, it's not an issue. I don't think about the game. Because she complained that he's too into the game.
Yeah, and he's like, I was too focused on the game. I wasn't thinking about being a good boyfriend right now.
He said I'm not a good date. And then in her confessional, she's like, he's just thinking about too much about the game. It's like all he thinks about, all he can think about. And it's like, yeah, because you're playing a game. And some guys are just going to be doing that,
Cringe couple.
It was a pretty this is a cringe couple. This is not wholesome like Amber and Amber and Boston Rob. They're the cream of the crop right there.
Warm.
You're so warm.
Boston Rob, famously warm.
Famously warm. Rob and Amber are gonna do it. Famously,
they've probably done it by now. You think?
Rob's sister, they've probably done it by now. Probably a few times. You could say from the pictures that we saw of their children, not of them. Anyway,
I do like that Stephanie said I should have never got myself in a situation with two boys from Alabama. I guess you hear that far too often.
I guess technically speaking, it was before that. It was 3.
3 boys from Alabama.
3 boys from Alabama. Jesus. Yeah. Like, get out of here. Yeah.
Sounds like my worst nightmare.
Sounds like it doesn't sound like not what I'm thinking of. That's a good time. So Karora ended up winning both things again. They won the Gut Food SOS, and then they won in the slide puzzle. And it was brutal.
The streak continues. I thought this was the 7th one though, but Jeff said 6.
Jeff said 6, and then they were like, all right, well, we lost our 7th straight immunity.
I'm trying to think if there was some, thing that was missing. I was trying to think if there was one where, they didn't do a competition or something stupid, but I don't... Did Jeff just get it wrong when they just left it in like that?
I think he just got it wrong. Yeah, he did have a cold afterward, too, so maybe they were, splicing... I don't know. Splicing audio.
The same thing for... it's the same clip from last episode.
Wouldn't that be something?
6 straight loss. No.
Yeah, and then it's immediately followed up after the commercial break by Ibrahim being like, "Yeah, we just lost the 7th time in a row." So I was like,
Jesus.
I don't know what's going on, by the way. Yeah, I don't know. All of a sudden, it's just tickling my throat. It's weird.
It's definitely the 7th person they've lost. I don't know if there's some technicality where there was a 6th challenge. I guess maybe he's being stupid and saying since they technically it wasn't an immunity challenge when they both went to tribal council, it technically became a reward challenge, and there was no immunity. So this is
I guess maybe,
but if you
being a technical stickler for the rules, I guess that's the case. Yeah,
it's the 6th straight immunity loss, but I counted as 7.
Yeah,
because that would have been an immunity.
Yeah,
in that spot.
and they would have lost. Yeah, because they did.
So that's crazy. Unprecedented losing streak. And that's rough. That's just so gross that you have 3 people standing next to 8 people, and then they're like, oh, we caught this nice little fish. Isn't that nice? And then they're like, oh, Tom, big man on campus, just caught us a shark.
We've been having a clam feast of a shark bake. It's like,
all of us were sitting down having a clam feast when Tom strolled up and picked up a shark for us. And then we sat down at our picnic table and just feasted on that thing, man.
Yeah, I hung
we
around.
Sleep tight at night in our cozy shelter.
In our hammock and cozy shelter, as I took a shower in our bathroom.
And then we turned on the air conditioning.
In the car that we got.
Damn, they were enjoying that. They were enjoying their little fish they caught. They were so happy to get the little fish. And then you scroll up. Jeff, we got a good nice little fish today, and they just showed up, and it's oh,
so ridiculous.
Man, we're living in misery over here.
Yeah, I mean,
where do we go from here?
I don't know. Well, it's Stephanie and Bobby John
versus the world.
Versus the world. And
what do we do?
Is there going to be a merge? I feel like a merge is inevitable. I feel like that kind of has to happen, right?
Merge.
Can you imagine if it's like one person in a tribe?
Either way,
before the merge
with 2 people. We're just adding 2 people to this tribe. I mean, again,
it's kind of ridiculous. Yeah,
it's crazy. That's crazy because it's basically like you've never seen anything like it, where you have this one tribe, and it's basically 90% of the people left in the game because they might as well be merged already.
Yeah. So all right, we're gonna split your team in half. And you're gonna have to. Yeah, you're gonna have to fight over who you get in your tribe or whatever.
Yeah, 4 and 4, and then one on each tribe.
Yeah. Maybe they could do some twist like that. They've done something like that already, haven't they?
Yeah. So, well, I mean, usually they do swaps. They just didn't. They just wanted them to bleed out on this season.
I guess they just wanted Oolong to suffer.
Yeah. There you have it. Who's your MVP for the episode?
Oh, geez. I mean, you got to give it to Tom, right? With the freaking shark.
The great white shark hunter.
Shark man? Yeah. Great white shark hunter? Yeah. I mean, it's a little sand shark, but yeah. It was pretty sweet. Pretty great moment. I mean, it was a very memorable moment.
Well, so Tom did talk about how he's like, well, not everybody sees it now.
Yeah, now everybody knows. Now everybody knows I'm a strong guy, and it's like, no, I think everybody there kind of knew, like to a degree.
He's saying like at a certain point, like you can't hide anymore. It's like,
yeah,
so that's the problem with coming out like that from the beginning, is being a great guy in challenges, great provider, and all that. So I feel like Ian should almost be happy that he got one-upped by Tom, right? Wouldn't you want to have less of a spotlight when you're about to just have your tribe left?
Yeah, it's. I think it does position him as quite a great threat. I think he's going to have a lot of targets on. He already does have some targets on his back. So, I mean, even though Kobe's like, yeah, I mean, I looked over at Greg and we were both like, well, it's a little harder to vote him off now after he did that. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it'll be interesting because they're teasing all this little drama over there. When we'll see everyone paying attention to Greg and Jen.
Yeah, it was the weird, like, it was like, oh, where everyone's watching them. And it's like, okay, well, it's kind of it's a very weird relationship in a way. So kind of one-sided in a little bit, in some aspects. I mean, Greg clearly likes her, but yeah, right. I don't know.
It's almost like it's like a relationship of convenience, you know, you're there, you're on this island, you're 2 attractive people.
Yeah.
Warm bodies.
Our body is smoochable,
very smoochable.
All right. Anyway, what episode should people go check out after they're done this?
Why does it have to be an episode?
I don't know. It doesn't have to be. No, it doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't. It could be whatever. What should they go watch after this?
I'm trying to think of the hot romances of our time. The Godfather, Part 3.
Okay. Go check it out. Go check our review.
One of the hottest romances.
Hottest romances of all time, yeah. We got to go check it out, yeah.
One of the hottest romances of the summer. Mary Corleone. All right.
Yeah.
So go watch our review of The Godfather Part 3. All right. Come back next week for more Survivor Palau, and I'm doing Survivor 41 every week as well, okay?
Woo!
So thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to our podcast feed. Like the video. Leave a comment. Hit the notification bell. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And like us on Facebook at Tarqaron TWO.
Yeah.
All right.